Welcome everybody to Jimbaran, Bali. Second day I've been here now. This time I was lucky enough to be able to come up for breakfast in Four Seasons. Most of the time now they don't allow people up unless you're a guest, you know, unless you're paying. This time 4 or 5 years ago when I was writing Seeing the Invisible, there was no problem at all. They allowed me in. Breakfast is like €25. You can have as much as you want, even though I don't. I just have like a nice carrot and apple. Thank you so much. It's very kind. I will. Thank you. Balinese are the most beautiful people in the world. One of the most beautiful people in the world. Must be hard for the Balinese. You know, they see this kind of wealth coming here, and they're servants really to the wealth. But you know, I've spoken to a few of these beautiful Balinese who work here, and they feel very privileged to work here. You know, at the Four Seasons. So yeah, this is the Four Seasons. It's the location is obviously it's going to be incredible. This is a multi-billionaire company. So, like I said, this time 5 years ago when I was working on Seeing the Invisible, I was sat over there, and there were no problems. They're absolutely not a problem. They were open arms. Come on, you want? We'll drive you up here, sir. No problem. Really? Wow, thank you. Had my breakfast paid. I always tip well, and they're always kind. This year it's like, no, we don't really want you here, which is a little bit sad that they treat people like that, you know, just because they haven't got the money, you know. Not that I haven't got money, but I refuse to pay 2,500 a night. I don't see it. I just couldn't comprehend that in my head. It's a bed. It's a beautiful place. It's a bed. It's a beautiful place, but it's a bed, and it's sleeping in a bed for one night. Maybe it's my Yorkshire in me. Maybe I can't get rid of that Yorkshire. So what more beautiful than stay in a hotel room for less than 100 euros a night, a lot less, and come up here and spend 25 euros and spend the morning here and the afternoon down at the bottom in a beautiful location. Hey, I should be on TV telling people tips. I'm kidding. Shut up, Mark. Anyway, so okay guys, I was asked to do an in-depth video, and I think it's a beautiful place to do it. I don't know whether the connection is going to be good enough. It's a nice location. People are not disturbing us. So let's do it, shall we? This video is going to be an in-depth video with regards to how, as somebody who likes to heal people and help people by giving them positive energy, how is it that I can cut off the feeling of becoming, I call this becoming too personal. And what does that mean? Because many people who are part-time healers, full-time healers, and people who just like to give healing as mums and dads and brothers and sisters and grandmas, why is it they always feel bad afterwards and feel exhausted? So this is my take on it. Okay, this is my take. There is two sections to this that need to be addressed, and the first one is energy and the residue of the trauma-based energy, which I call heavy, negative and dirty energy. Those energies need to be cleaned. So healers, genuine healers, know how to target that trauma energy, that negative energy. So what happens is they will be attuned to a certain place on the physical body, and they will move to that place with either their hands, one hand, both hands, or just focus on that place. As you focus on that place, I've knocked off the Four Seasons and I've gone on to another Wi-Fi. I am gonna give it one more chance. Gonna give it one more chance. So okay, so we get back to the same conversation. There are two forms of healing that we need to focus on, and one is clearing negative energy. So when the healer finds that heavy energy naturally, they naturally heal and use a frequency or vibration to break or disperse that energy. Where that energy goes, depending on where you are, if you're in a room with no windows, then that dispersed energy can sit on the walls, it can sit on you. So you need to know how to cleanse and clear. So if you don't know how to cleanse and clear, then you're going to feel bad afterwards. So you've got to prepare the room, and preparing the room is a little bit like you want to waterproof your shed. So you're going to use a certain kind of varnish, and then when it rains, it's like water off a duck's back. Well, imagine that you sage the room. All the room is saged. When negative energy tries to attach to anything, it can't. It just washes straight off. It just comes away. So cleansing the room is very important as well. If you've got windows, then the negative energy, the residue, can leave and go out. But one of the things is that it can attach to you, and that's why you can feel bad after giving healing. So that's one case, because there's many, but the two main factors is this. And the second factor, which I believe is the most important factor, is the personal connection you have to somebody. So if you're a healer, it goes without saying that you have empathy, or else you wouldn't be a healer. I mean a true healer. Some people do it for money, and they're not really healers. Ones who do it out of love. Now, if like me, doesn't matter who comes into your healing studio or wherever you are, you treat them like a brother and sister, like a family. And it doesn't matter whether you've never met them before or or it's your child. You still have empathy for that person. And that is true for most healers. What a lot of healers do that make a mistake that causes this great issue is that they become so personally involved in the healing session that instead of channeling the energy that a good healer will do, and how is that? How do you do that? Well, you step out of yourself and you allow the energy to flow through you. So stepping out of yourself is one way of showing you what I mean, but another way is that the way you have to step out of yourself is to open up, which means that you can't be thinking, you can't be feeling, you've just got to open up and just be a vessel for this universal energy that can run through you. And there's many forms of energy that can either run through you, or the spirit world can step into your energy and work through you, and so on. So you become personal with somebody, meaning that you start feeling their pain and you're holding on to it instead of saying, okay, I felt it, now I know where it is, now I know what I need to do. And then you become nil and void of empathy in that moment, because you have to turn yourself into a vessel for that energy to flow through you. Where a lot of healers make the mistake, and I understand this because I did it for quite a while, is that we don't become that vessel. We turn into a very strong empath, and we start to feel and feel and feel, and in that moment what happens is the connection between the vessel and that energy stops, and a new energy kicks in, which is extremely powerful, and it's called the heart energy. As soon as you become personal, the heart opens up, and the energy from your heart starts to heal that person. How do I know this? Because on my first ever pure energy healing course that I gave, I noticed one lady pouring from her heart. After the healing session of 1 hour, everybody who was healing this client, everybody sat down, and I noticed the lady who was pouring this energy from her heart was literally in bits, exhausted, felt awful. And the other three had taken notice and listened, and they were channeling. One channeled Mother Earth, so I could see the energy coming through her feet and up into her shoulders and then down through her hands. The other beautiful soul, that was Harry, I remember it like it was yesterday, channeled an energy that came from the universe, and it came through the top of her head. And I remember Cecilia channeling, and spirit world moved straight into her and started healing. So I noticed this over the months, that certain people would become personal. It would become a personal healing session instead of stepping out of the way, not getting too personal, and just letting the work be done. So how do you not become personal when it's your family or friends, or you're so empathetic? I found the easiest way for me was to say to myself, if I become personal, I am going to be the worst healer for a short time, meaning that I won't be able to do this at all. So I had to say to myself that even though we have this empathy, even though I want to give from my heart, that isn't the healer's path. That's not the healer's path. That's a path of sickness and illness and disease, and you'll get all your immune system will lower. It will lower very quickly. So all of those thoughts to me was like, oh shit, okay, well if I keep doing this, I'm not going to be a healer for long and I'm going to be sick. So it wasn't really a huge issue in my life, because by saying, well, I want to be a healer for the rest of my life, so what's the options? I need to cut off from this feeling. I have to cut off from this. I have to be stronger. I have to be stronger than this feeling that I feel so much pain for my client because she's got cancer and she's 17, you know. I got to cut off from that. So she's here. There's a reason she's here. So shut up, shut your mind off, step out of that brain set. Say thank you to your emotions, say thank you to your, intuition, say thank you to your empathy, say thank you to the energy that you can feel, but now I have to let that go and become the vessel. And that makes you a freaking good healer. A lot of people look at me and say, well, that's weird. What you're saying, that you have to be nil and void of empathy? At the beginning, you can be anything you want, because that energy is specific for a healer. You have to have empathy. You've got to have the feelings. You've got to have all of those things to be able to connect to your client to where you're going to heal. But then you have to let it go. And it's a little bit like pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Okay, so I'm going to feel pain, but how long am I going to feel that pain for? It's up to me whether I let it go or not. And that's the same as, okay, I feel your pain, I feel it, but I have to let it go now because I need to do a healing session. And people have always looked at me and said when I was healing, you're a good healer. You know, I can see that you're a good healer. You go instantly into a place where I want to be without thinking and worrying and my mind chatter. And I said, well, it takes practice. You know, I was like, just like you at the beginning of this, I was thinking and like, oh my God, is this working and all that? But I learned over time and practice that all of those thoughts and all of those feelings and all of those actions just held me back. So I learned to disconnect. But you might think, well, that didn't make any sense, Mark. If I disconnect, then I won't feel. No, you did feel at the beginning. You felt it, and that's it. Now you need to disconnect from that because that job's done. Now the new job kicks in, which is this new energy that flows through you. And this disconnect is of feeling, of anything. Just disconnect and let the energy flow through you. Now, as that is happening, there are moments when you will be awakened to a new feeling. And that feeling is to move to another part of the body because the residue may have moved, and that happens. And it took me a long time to understand that. But let's just say that the grid in your body needs fixing in other places. That's the easiest way to tackle this. So you move to another place. So instantly you can switch on and switch off, and you allow that automatic mechanism to switch on and switch off as you're doing the healing session. So it's not that I don't care about my client, it's that I actually really care about my client. And if I start to think about my client and worry about them and start to feel their pain, then I am no longer a healer. I am adding to their pain. I am confirming their misery. And that's why I often share a valuable piece of information at the end of a healing session. Once the healing session is done, you go, you cleanse, you clean the negative energy away from you, sit in Mother Earth, put your feet on Mother Earth, sit by a tree, cleanse yourself with sage, do all the things that you need to do. But the most important thing thereafter is you do not think about that client for 1 second more. You look up and say, thank you for bringing the client to me. Thank you for bringing my loved ones to me. I've done my best. And now I leave it in the hands of that very energy that passed through me. And I believe with all my heart that what they are receiving from this moment on is exactly what they need. And I trust that. I trust that with all my heart. You see, if I start to think about my client, the thoughts are, I wonder how they are. Are they feeling better? Is the cancer going? Is this issue going? What I'm doing is reconnecting an energy called a cord. And that cord touches them. And that fear, because it is fear, because if you are questioning what you've done, then it's got to be based on fear. Like when I've done a healing session, I don't think about my client. I kick them out. Get yourself off, take care, see you later. And I trust that it was exactly what they needed. I don't think about anything thereafter. And if they want to ring me up or they want to come and see me and say, Mark, I feel a lot better, which happened so many times. We can't say that. I can't say that. I can't say that people's cancer disappeared. Can't say that. No. I can't say that people were cured. Can't say that. You know, I had a lot of grief when we did that documentary. I had a lot of kickback. It was awful. We did a documentary. This guy came and did a documentary, and we had a nurse who had cancer in the breast. And she came and she sat down and she was Danish, and she said, I went to Mark once and the x-ray was, I don't know, 7 millimeters, a lump in the breast. And I went back the month later and it had gone down to 4. And then I came back again and it went down to 3, and then went again and it went down to 2, something like that. And then the doctor said, oh, it's we don't even need to operate now. This caused so much kickback, and so many people attacked me for that video. Like, are you serious? What a wonderful thing to share with the world, that healing works. The devil works in mysterious ways, and let me tell you, the devil works through so-called spiritual healers too. I was attacked by spiritual healers, calling me a fake, all sorts. It was horrendous. So the devil is frightened of healing because the devil wants to cause sickness. That's why the devil works through the elites, to cause illness and sickness. And look what it's just done. Look what it's just done. In these past 3 years, it's tricked 95% of humanity. So it's done its work. So it doesn't care what happens now. It doesn't care. It's done. It's done. Finished. Job done. So now anybody can talk about anything because job's done. Anyway, going back to the personal. Don't get personal. All I can tell you is this. It's a process that takes time, and it takes effort, and it takes resilience, it takes trust, and it takes confidence. And these things can only be done via one-to-ones, time and effort. And that's it really. I can't like spend 4 or 5 hours with you talking about this, which I could, and go into even more detail, but I think this is enough for you to think about it, to make the change in your life. And ultimately it's up to you whether you want to feel bad. A lot of healers like to feel bad. That's the truth. They like to feel bad after a healing session because they feel they've done a good job. Oh, I've taken all that energy away and I feel terrible. And they feel good for it. They feel actually they're happy because it means that they know that they've done good. And I often talk about healers becoming extremely sick. And that's why part of the Pure Energy Healing course, online course, we teach how to sorry, I'm off. The children are beautiful here. Happy children. Yeah, we really focus on, you know, there's a lot of healers who are sick. A lot. Even in Bali here, I've been looking for the Balinese healer. He's not well. Apparently he's not well at all. So again, you need to learn how to cleanse and clear. Right guys, well, I think that's it. Any questions before I go? There's 61 people on, that's nice. The time difference, I think everybody's asleep in Spain and the UK. So I'm glad you're all here. So, yeah, I mean, the 20 years that I've been a healer, I put it into 4 days in the Pure Energy Healing Academy. So all you need to do is go to the Pure Energy Healing Academy, click on, and if you like one of the courses, there's 2 courses there. One's how to heal, and the other one is how to heal with crystals. They're both amazing courses. They're very easy, self-explanatory. They're video courses, so you basically watch the video, and the videos were created by professionals, sound professionals. In fact, one of the film cameramen worked on many movies. It was really lovely meeting him. And Layla Satie, who is a film director herself, Layla did all the editing, and it's fantastic. It's a fantastic visual course where you feel like you're actually in the course. And I think it's one of the, I believe it's one of the best courses. Both of them, but them courses are probably one of the best courses online in the world for healing. I have never come across one better, and I've seen many. So the time and the effort, well, we spent tens of thousands on both courses, tens of thousands. So this isn't a cheap course. Like my tarot course is a really raw, easy little course, and that's like, you know, a €300 course. These courses are €600. This should be 2,000. I've seen courses not even half as good as ours at 2 and 3 and 4, 5,000. It's incredible, and you get a certificate at the end of it saying that you participated in the course, and now you're a pure energy healer or pure energy crystal healer. We have about in a week maybe 4 to 7 people a week, which isn't many, who sign up, especially how much we invested in that. We're not even close to getting back the investment, but it doesn't matter. It's not important. If we can help one person to become a healer and to heal people in this world, that's all that matters. So it's great, the amount of people we have. Maybe I don't know how many we've got now, how many people are pure energy healers from when I started 20 years ago to now, with the online course. I don't know, maybe 5,000, 4,000 or 5,000 healers worldwide, and a lot of them didn't come to become a healer as a full-time healer. They came to learn how to heal, and the pure energy healing course is geared up to learn how to heal yourself. So you heal others, you heal yourself, you learn how to heal yourself. So it's fabulous. And there's never a more important time right now, with all these turbo cancers and all of the shit that's going down, all of the cloud seeding that they're doing everywhere. Here they cloud seeded last week, and the Balinese government openly said, yeah, we've cloud seeded and we sprayed last week because we needed rain, we wanted rain. So yeah, last week they had rain, and the government openly said it in Bali. But people don't care. People don't care. People have no clue. They just get on with life, which is fair enough. It is what it is. We don't beat ourselves up about it too much. All right, guys. Well, I'm wishing you well. Yeah. I'm wishing you well. It's a beautiful day. I'm heading off now to Zanua, and I'll be doing maybe another live with a special guest that I'm doing an interview with, and I will shut my mouth and learn not to say anything and let him speak and not get too excited. I'm learning from that. So I'll see you later on this afternoon if it's alive. If it's not, I'll put it out there on YouTube. We'll see. I'm wishing you all a lovely day though, whatever you're doing. Take care of yourselves, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and for all the healers out there, I hope it helped a little bit. And hey, the best healers in the world step away from the thoughts and feelings that are always trying to become part of the monkey mind. And that's what you've got to overcome. You've got to be stronger than the mind. And that's why I always say the greatest battle everyone has in this world is a battle between the heart and mind. When you are in the heart, there is no questions. There are no questions. All the answers lie there. Trust, kindness, peace, tranquility. When you are in the mind, you are in the monkey mind. You're worrying, you're panicking, you're fearing, and that is what you've got to learn to become stronger than. So when you are in the consciousness, when you're in the heart energy, when you're in your heart, you are in a place of peace. And most people are in their mind, and that's why the world is in chaos. Have a great day, guys. Take care.